Here we go, Mr. Odarius. We're going into week 2 of the NFL season. The Dolphins season is online. I know last week you thought they'd win. I thought they would win too. I knew there was troubles. I had to cut out some of my stuff because my audio was screwed up. Some of the problems that I thought could happen happened. I just never expected the mercurial nature of the Dolphins to wet the bed. They wet the bed like a 90-year-old geriatric patient. That was so bad, man. So we're here. I think we can win this week, but what the hell do I know? This team could just do anything. They could blow them out. They could lose 50-0. Who the hell knows? But they've got to win. But even if they win, I'm not really big on their long-term prognostication. I don't see them having grand success. At best, it's another middling season. So we're going to get into it. I'll be a little lamenting here, but we're going to get into McDaniel, the current structure, how it feels to be a Fin fan, and then we'll get into the Pats game from your perspective. I mean, you played at a very high level. I think you were disappointed highly, obviously, not just the turnovers, because for me, even with the turnovers, when you look at it, you saw that we were outmatched. And Colts are a talented team, and they have talent in areas that really give us problems. So let's start off with Mike McDaniel. You like him. I saw possibly he's the guy I wanted of the poor crew that were available in 2022. I said, give it a shot. Maybe he could be something. I didn't like his Woody Allen passive nature. I'd rather, even as a player, I'd rather have a hard ass guy. I went away from my PG rating right there. Is if we're winning, like the hard guy, if you're losing and you know that he sucks, it's not good. But to me, football is such a brutal sport. You know about the pain and everything. You need somebody you have fear for almost as much as the pain or failure, but you still got to like the guy a little bit. So my favorite coach was always the guy that would slap me in the head when I screwed up and then give me a decent nudge, when I did something right. So I'm not a big McDaniel fan. I think that he was overwhelmed by a poor build. He took a guy from a booth who was a green head coach and then made him the HCOC. But we're at this stage, we're still struggling with dysfunction. There was, difference of opinion, whether it was rogue or guys wanting to play too hard with him and Weaver. He's clearly, no matter what, even if we win this week, at the end of his line. What do you think of McDaniel? Let's just parse it out together and see what we see.
So I actually had this whole conversation before with a friend of mine since last year. It started with a debate between Mike and Mike Vrabel. So I actually have a video out. Check it out. Mike and Mike.
Check
Mike
it out.
versus Mike. And I was a big proponent for Mike McDaniels. And to be honest with you, I still like Mike McDaniels. He just has critical flaws to what he does. I think he is, I will say backstage, is I think he's a good strategist. To the point where if you give him time, and I know the Colts game is like a bad example of that, but if you give him time to prepare a game plan for a team, I think his plan comes out very, like he has the plan to put on the field, and it'll be a good plan if he has the talent. Now, I don't know if he does a really good job of navigating deficiencies in a roster. Like no team, no coach. I don't care who you are. If you have a poor offensive line, you're going to struggle. And I think the history of football, you have your outliers. The history of football, if you don't win the trenches, you're usually not going to win that game. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, my Joe Burrow doesn't have a good game." Some of that stuff is on Joe Burrow as well.
Look at him; his whole career has been up and down, and he's been beat to hell. So,
yeah, but it's not. I don't think some of it's his fault too. He holds the ball a lot longer than he should. He got all the talent in the world. He can do whatever you want, but he doesn't like to stay in the quick game. He goes big play hunting. Like he's Josh Allen, and he's not Josh Allen. He can't run around and take hits all day, so he takes a lot of sacks that's on him. He even had like a video about it. Like, it's okay if you take a sack on first and whatever, I'll make it up, that kind of stuff. But
I didn't know that. That's good info.
Yeah, but for me, Mike McDaniels is the type of coach. Like, I think I also have this weakness as well. Like when I did my coaching, like I could come up with go on film, see it, attack it, and then when a team adjusts or say it's halftime and what I came up with is not working great, it's very hard as a coach. Like my weakness, like the coach that I had who played at Ohio State was really good at it, but I wasn't great at it. That's something I always try to work on as a coach, to come up with adjustments like in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I go in the back during halftime, talk to my guys and say, hey, this is what we're going to do now. Like as a player, I was a little bit better at it because I was on the field. I got to see it. Okay, this is how he's playing me. But as a coach, that's extraordinarily hard because you're not, for me anyway, because I'm so used to feeling it, kinesthetic learner, like doing it. Like, okay, he's hitting my right. Like he's trying to beat me inside. He's outside stem and then come back inside. Okay, I know that's what he's doing. Slow play, like that kind of stuff. Now, watching it on film is a little bit different. It's hard as a coach. And I think Mike McDaniel is not great feel for the game. I think you said that too.
No. I'll tear him down from my standpoint. Just only hit yours first.
But I think I think also time management is an issue. A lot of people talking about how getting to play it. It's not just on him too.
Wait, just imagine getting to playing. Blue 42 it's like, no, come on, man.
But I got to put that on the players too. I think I only played offense in high school, so we always had very simple calls. Defensively, one thing that we did do, because we were my second year at FIU, it wasn't about getting the plays in late. It was just like our defensive coordinator. I didn't like him. I'll be honest with you. I know what it is to have a coach you don't like and a coach you do like. and I think he just took too long to kind of figure out what they were doing or have an idea instead of having a call in. And we use hand signals and stuff like that. We didn't have a green dot. We didn't have technology like that back then. But it's on players too. It's on the players more than the coaches. They're out there playing. We the ones who know, like, give you guys a great example from a defensive standpoint. Duck, when the safety, when they scored that first touchdown with Pittman up on the sideline and it was out and up and he was in cover two. Like, I know the safety was in a bad situation, but he had two verticals. He had that seam post from the tight end, which he could have kind of let go, but that's an easier throw for the quarterback.
Now, he was the guy who was on him. I can't remember who it was. He was playing man, right? So
no, it was cover two. He just sunk deep. It was a hook.
I looked like there was like a little bit of man in because he was running side by side with them.
It was a great job. He kind of matched it because he had nothing underneath. This is what I wanted Duck to do. To be, it's like man under too. So if he's with him, but he's underneath him because you have the same over top that you're thinking, fine. But he kind of like sit there and look at the quarterback with nothing underneath. You have nothing in the flat. You don't need to play the flat. And I think was it a third down? I think it was a third down. And so
man, it might have been.
Why are you waiting? Like, you got nothing to worry about. If they throw something underneath, you rally up and try to make a tackle before the first down.
He had a terrible jam too. I mean, he got he just slid off him, and then he like stood there for a second. That's how bad the jam was.
If you and I didn't know how to play cover two when I first went to college. If you in cover two and you sit up there and you don't get your hands on, at least funnel him. Like, you got 5 yards to put hands on him. Like, if you go back and watch some of my tape, I jammed Julio Jones so bad, and I was like, if I can't run with him, he's gonna remember me because it don't feel like he's running past the offensive lineman. That's how much I'm gonna put my hands on him. And why? Why are you not like he didn't have a running back to his side in the backfield, so he didn't have an immediate threat to his flat.
Yeah.
He wasn't in a cut split, so you don't have something that's going to come across quick. He was in a reduced split, so he's either going to go inside or he's going to go outside, and he ended up going outside. So you should already know if he goes inside, bye. He comes outside like he did, I should be beating his gluteus maximus. and so it's things that Duck didn't do, and he played like a college player in an NFL game. And so,
I don't know what I also his makeup speed's not great either. I kind of think Duck might be a better safety if he's going to make it because, look, I played a little bit of corner, nothing. I mean, the only thing I could probably say I know a little bit about is running back. That's my highest level I played at. But he missed the jam, and he slid inside him, and then he was about a yard before he got started going again. Mm-hmm. And if he could have just jammed him, or if you're going to either if you give a hard jam and you miss, then that's why you get frozen. And then there was just that burst, like holy, like I know when I played, and I had to cover somebody back in the, the lower divisions, and you get beat, you get that fear that hits you and you just kick it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it wasn't that. So if you're like a Duck prototype and he's huge, you've got to get your jam down or you've got to have the kick. So I'm concerned about him long-term at that. I mean, you can get the jam down. It was one play, but there was some more stuff, I think. Did you see other stuff with Duck that would leave you concerned?
Yeah, well, the reason why I even brought up Duck was because I feel like from a coaching standpoint, their evaluation of talent can sometimes be poor. And that's one of the things I was going to go with Mike McDaniels and also Weaver, because he shouldn't have been there. That was my biggest fear from the very beginning.
UDFA, 2%, 1 or 2% make it in the league for a reason. We had like 3 guys, I think, or something like that with UDFAs to be our cornerbacks. That's crazy.
And I think what was a great, I hope he's okay, by the way. I know they say he should be fine, but ankle thing, I had an ankle thing that probably was with me for like 2-3 years before I was good again.
Oh, really? It's that bad then, huh?
Depending on what it is, high ankle sprain, like, could be really bad if it was a high ankle sprain.
That sucks.
And so the reason why if it was I was gonna be a UDFA. Like, I literally the Jags called me back again. Or those are the 2 teams I actually spoke to. But no, the other thing I'll say is he didn't trust his eyes. He made a great he was in man coverage. They tried to pick him with a tight end, and he had a curl, and he was in man. He saw it. Like, he saw it. It was 3rd down. He saw it. Oh no, it was a tight end, Tyler Warren, and he saw it, and his feet just went like not going forward. He's like,
yeah, you're reading, yes,
and I'm like, go, like, it's a pick, go. That's a play he got hurt on. I'm like, go, just go, and then he waited. Then he makes the tackle, and that's not why he got hurt. He just got hurt because the big guy fell on his leg. Yeah, and and then when you see Rasul Douglas, who was in cover 3, a play they ran the same route, like formation, but just with different personnel. And Douglas just shoots it, but he's in cover 3, so he's like 6 yards back, and he makes contact when the ball gets to the guy's hand. Now the guy still catches it, but if Duck was like 3 yards, like half the distance, if he was to make that same jump, it's an interception. And that's the difference between he played like a rookie, but a second-year player versus almost a decade in the league. And I'm like, yeah. Most corners who played a lot of reps is going to trust what they see, because you're going to say, hey, I see this on film. I see this on the field. I got to believe what I saw. I know he's in man, so he's probably worried, but he had help over top. If you get beat because you made a play because of what you saw, then it happens. It happens on the field. You got to trust what you see. And that Coach White used to tell me that, because when I first started playing DB in college, it's like, trust what you see. And he used to hype me up. You got the speed. You can run with anybody, which is a lie. I ran a 4.4. I realized real quick I can't run with everybody because I had TY on my team. But you got to trust. You got to trust yourself. You have to have a type of what's the word? Like ego. Just like, okay, he ran a hitch. I saw it on film. I'm gonna jump it. I don't worry about nothing behind me, because on film this is what they run. I'm gonna jump it. Yeah. Now, if they do other stuff on film where they do out and ups and double moves and do a lot of that stuff, then you got to play a little bit differently, because you see that they've done it a lot on film. I just feel like he doesn't have a feel for the position, and you need to play for that. But I mean, these are the growing pains you're going to get. And I personally, as a coach, I wouldn't have him on the field starting. He'll just get reps.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We always do that with everybody. We rush them in too quick. We see something there and we're so desperate. We put some. I thought he had a great play on. I think it was a tight end where he was playing man and they were trying to throw like a little, like a fade into the end zone, and he had a perfect coverage there. So yeah, we always do that. We do that with everybody. We just throw them in there when they're not ready, and then, the problem is the game is, like you were saying, confidence. But if you get thrown in too early and you start struggling, then it's hard to be confident. And we do that. We do that a ton. I mean, for me, I'm sorry, keep going.
No, I was going to say, I think the reason I hate that we're picking on Duck, but Duck is just a symptom of, like, he's just an example, because there was a lot of players who played in the same kind of vein of how Duck played. I think Duck was one of the worst players this past Sunday. Not saying that he didn't have good plays. I'm just saying,
it's consistency.
Like, I was telling you, I thought Sealer did not play up to the player that I expected. He was, like you said, hot and cold. I think that was a great example. He made some plays at the line of scrimmage, and there's other times he got blown off the ball.
Yeah.
Grant.
I think he might still be a little dinged because he was hurt for like a week or two. Or it could just be that was such a good offensive line.
It could have been that too. That's what I was, because they when they double team, usually you drop the knee, you turn yourself, you hold your point. Both our defensive tackles were getting blown. At some plays, they'll get blown off the ball. Like, ouch. Like,
well, they got huge guards. Nelson's 330 and something Clay, the other right guard. I can't remember. I always forget his name. It's a weird name. He's like 330. They got two big guards. That's not easy. That's not easy.
But I think that's the thing, kind of segueing into the Patriots, where I don't think we're going to face that type of offensive line from a defensive standpoint. I'm hoping that, and just looking at the film, because I went and checked a little film, even though I know we're not looking at the film. I think that defensively they're going to have a bounce back game. I don't think they're going to be. I can't say they're going to be amazing because what I saw this past week was really, really bad. But I think if they're going to have a good week to come back for the defensive standpoint, this is the week.
Yeah, I think that the Patriots offensive line, it has strengths and weaknesses. Campbell and Morgan Moses, they're a little slow-footed.
That left side.
So, but they do have Hooper and the other tight end are pretty good. So I think the Patriots are going to come out in 12 personnel. Now, Benito's not in there. And so you're going to get Phillips and Biggers. And Biggers is too tall to play deep in the pit. So how are you going to get your 0 and 1? Is it going to be Phillips all day? And can he handle it? Because that's a lot of reps. He only had like 330 reps last year. So it'll be interesting. If it was me, if I'm the Patriots, I'm coming out. I'm going 12 personnel. I'm either running inside in the A and B gap, or I'm going to do exactly what the Colts did. I'm going to do play action, run, and then boot out to one of my tight ends who's going into the flats to see if they have learned anything. But they've got to they were blitzed 36% of the time. They used pass rush mitigation 30% of the time, screens and play actions. I thought they went a little naked for May, and May had only 60% clean throw percentage. And the pressure, I think, was about 39 or something. So they gave up plays. But if you listen to them, they went a little hot and heavy on the pass. And if I'm Vrabel and I'm McDaniel, now they don't have their DC this week, so that could be something too. That could take away a little bit from Vrabel having to man the DC spot. But I'm saying, you know what? Let's just keep everything in front of us. That defense is going to be tough nut to crack. They were on the field all day. Let's keep them on the field as long as we can. Let's just not make any big mistakes, and let's let the Dolphins make their mistakes, because I think the Dolphins need to run inside. I think they're going to struggle to run inside. And so McDaniel be patient enough to say, hey, I'm going to take my runs inside. I'm going to keep them honest. Or is he just going to go big play Mike and then try to hit those big plays and then get behind? And if you get a bad first down, even without Gonzalez, I think that they're going to have a tough time. So can Mike hold his water? And that's the question I got to ask.
I really think just looking at how they played, especially after what they gave up against Geno Smith, it's crazy too. The first play, I thought I was watching Tua because Geno Smith, they ran that seam rail slide concept, and they attacked the line. If we're going to attack them, we need to attack underneath. The linebackers are not great in coverage, kind of the same concept. I don't think the DBs are good either. But
okay.
Without Gonzalez.
Yeah. They got some flaws.
Yeah, but I think they're going to use scheme to keep that shell over the top. If the Dolphins could just be efficient, Tua needs to be efficient. If Tua is bad with this offensive line, we're going to be bad. So Tua can't play this is the worst game I've ever saw in my life since college, since high school, since anything I've ever seen. I've never seen Tua play that bad. So Tua, let's just throw that out and don't think he's going to play like that again. Because if he play like that again, I'm instead of water, it's going to be something else in the cup.
I know the feeling.
But I think I don't think they should run inside. I don't think we can, not with the injuries we have. and against their two big guys, the defensive tackles. I think I've always been a fan of Landry. I know he's a pass rusher, but I feel like he's a guy who's actually have the ability to hold the point. I would be actually attacking Chason. I think Chason's a little light in the pants.
Yeah, I agree.
Try to get outside zone. I don't think their linebackers are overly fast. They are kind of athletic, but I don't think they're great. I'm going to try to get them running, play action, and then come back and try to throw the ball behind them where they vacate, where the linebackers will be attacking the line of scrimmage. Because if we go look at the film, the linebackers are like at the very beginning, they were like attacking the line of scrimmage. Then they just kept getting killed by Geno hitting them right underneath. So they stopped attacking the line of scrimmage, but they're not fast enough to make it up with speed to outside zone against our running backs, especially on our left side of our line. Well, I think that's where we should be attacking, where now we're like, okay, make them make a decision. Are we going to get on the wheels and run outside, especially wherever Chason's at? I'm running outside zone to that side. I don't trust our guards, our interior line against their defensive tackles. But I want to attack. Like, if you look at it, I'm not touching Landry. I'm scared of him. He played great.
Yeah. He'll handle Borum.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Let's hope we can't get in a situation where we get pass happy, basically. We need to run the ball. We need to get what's his name? Armstead said it perfectly. The Dolphins are built kind of like, I hate to say it, like the Colts, because we're not as good, but like that old Colts team with Manning, when they got a lead, they were so hard to beat because their defense could get after you. I think that's what we are. But if you can run the ball on that old team or run the ball on us, it becomes an issue. And if we can't run the ball, we have to already have a lead where we can use the quick game and stay on time and be able to make the game shorter for the other team, not have the ball in their hands. So basically, I feel like the Dolphins have to be an efficient team. We're not going to get the big play because I don't think they're going to give us the big play. And we just need to be able to run the ball effectively to keep us on schedule.
Yeah, I think if you look at it here, White might not play. He's been sick all week, and he's not playing that well. But, a big piece of the puzzle not on here is Tonga. Tonga's been playing really well. He's like 300, almost 40 pounds. If you're going to line him up over Brewer, it's going to force Brewer to he's not going to it's going to Smith or if Brunskill's playing is going to really struggle against Williams. He's going to struggle against Tonga. And then you could slide, say, Williams over Savaiinaea, and Spillane is good at the run stop. I just think that you're not probably going to be effective in your run game and consistency. I think you can pop it, but what if you saw last week with the Colts, they were playing totally outside leverage. All they were doing was stacking the cornerbacks 2-on-2, mostly on the outside. They were playing high cover 2. And so they just said run inside. And, we had a couple of nice runs inside because we were big going against their nickel. I think if I'm the Patriots, I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to thin myself out. Maybe I'll have Barmore play 3 technique and Williams play 3 technique with Tonga in the middle and then Landry on one side because you're not going to have White. And if we don't look, you got to run inside sometimes just to keep the leverage, to keep them guessing. I don't think this team's going to be effective, but for me, McDaniel doesn't have a lot of cement, a lot of junk in the trunk as far as intestinal fortitude. And if you know that, hey, I can't really run inside that well, and you abandon it, then the DCs, if they're good and they see that, then and they kind of know it from his history, then they just load up on areas of what you like, the pocket post, the deep plays, and the outsides. And then it gets hard, even if that's kind of where the strength is. I like Paul. But I'm not so hot on Savaiinaea because he still picks that step up and stays in the same spot. So I just think that with our defense, McDaniel's got – see, that's why I like Gailey. If you go back to Gailey in 2020, he ran a lot and it wasn't that successful. But he understood that, hey, over the course of the game, that's moving the clock. It's beating the defense up a little bit. I'm going to allow my defense to kind of keep control. I've got to keep them honest. And occasionally you might get something. I think we're outmatched, their front versus our front. But, their secondary is thinner, especially against our talent. But if you're not honest, then you don't have the initiative because then everybody knows what you're doing, and you might get some stuff, but you won't be consistent. So I don't know. I think definitely the left side's where you want to go. You want to go behind Savaiinaea. You're not going to want to go behind Smith. I do like Bourne on the inside zone more than Jackson. I think Brunskill should start over Keon. Keon is terrible. That'll be interesting. But then we don't even have the tight ends. Tanatana can't block. For me, a big piece of this is Julian Hill. Julian Hill plays really well. It's going to help out a ton. But if he does Julian Hill stuff, it's going to be a long, long day. So I agree. But that's the problem for me with Mike McDaniel. He, as you would say, he's not he's sort of a strategist. I think he's a conceptualist, not necessarily a strategist. He had a conception and it caught the league by storm. But then after that conception was kind of figured out, helping with the talent, he really couldn't get. I mean, you were talking, you showed me, he's like 0-3 before a bye week, but he's undefeated except for this year going into week 1. So if he can get those big plays off and he has the mismatch of his receivers versus their defense, then I think he could do well, but he can adjust. I don't think he's got the character to like whip guys into fight mode. And, it's just a lot to talk about with just how come we're still late to the line of scrimmage? How come we still don't have audibles and adjustments? I just think it's a very vanilla system, and it's exasperated by inability to run the football and be diverse. I mean, we're the same thing as the Rams and the 49ers, but they run inside and out. They get to the line of scrimmage and they have audibles. And I don't know. I just think Mike McDaniel was in over his head. I think he was number 4. He was the last in line to get somebody. I think they saw him and said, he's charismatic, he's got potential, and we got nothing else. And I think, we're at the end of the line of that. But that's just me. But then it's tied to Greer. Greer is just, I think if Mike McDaniel had tons of talent, throughout, not just in boxed in areas, edge rushers and receivers, he could be better. But there's something, I think he freezes in tactical adjustments like you were talking about before. I just don't think he's capable. I don't think we're in year 4 and we're having team meetings in week 1 and there's still dysfunction. And every year we get the lies and I don't know. I think he's done. I think he can win today. What do you think? You think we're going to win today?
Until they win, I can't say they can win anything. I truly am a positive Dolphin fan, but I got so like the way they played from the defensive standpoint, because that's what I was really looking at to be successful. I didn't think the offense was going to do good against the Colts, honestly. I thought we would do enough to win, and neither side did well. So what I feel is I didn't like how, like I was looking at Mika Fitzpatrick looked so dejected, like he was so disinterested. If you look in I think it was the second quarter, and it wasn't even halftime. It was getting ready to go into halftime.
I worry about him getting because I don't think he really wanted to come here. Yeah,
like that was such a I wanted to see how players reacted to getting punched in the mouth, and they got punched in the mouth, and they're like, you see some players like, man, we got to punch back, where other players like, man, this game over. What we doing? And that's the kind of stuff when you have that type of sensation. I've been on the team for one of my careers playing that. I was on a team like that. I won't say the player name because he actually went to the NFL, was a great player, and he was a tough guy. But when you get to a point where you don't believe in people around you, that sucks. And I saw that early, and I don't want to see that again. Maybe the team meeting gives them a little bit more, I guess, guts. I don't know what else to tell you. I like Mike. I think Mike, if he fixes time management and he fixes with his ability to adjust and his
ability to be tough, can't let the players run the team and try to be their friends. I still remember him sitting on the bench with Waddle and Hill and yucking it up, and they walked away and they both looked at each other like, you're not going to get respect like that. You can't be their friends. It's like being a father. If you're a father, you want to be friendly and have that relationship, but you've got to have that authority or they're going to walk all over you. Anyway, I'm sorry I had to cut in.
No, I agree with you. Like, for instance, I think Mike is a good coach. He's not great. He's not a playoff championship level coach, Do I think he can develop and grow into that?
Well, he's young. Yeah, he's young.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, we want to win now. We want to be successful, and I don't see enough growth from him. Like, I'm not worried about him being great right now. How does he look week 16? And unfortunately, every week 16, he hasn't really gotten better from week 1. And that's the problem that I have. His teams, like last year was a great example of showing how he was able to kind of adjust with the deficiencies with talent. And I'm like, okay, that might be a step forward, because he was able to go 2-6 and then go 6-2. The schedule got a little softer, but he showed, okay, we can go run heavy, even though the run's not working well. But I'm going to do things to try to put the team in successful situations instead of trying to do things I want to do. And that's where I think he gets caught up. He is like, I want to do this, but I'm like, that's not what the flow of the game. Like,
that's not what life and football is about. It's not what you want, man. They take away what you want. They make you do what you don't want, and you got to be successful.
But yeah, I have a job that is like 25 miles away from where I work at, and takes me an hour and a half to get there. I don't want to do it. I got to take care of my family. So I go there, make some money to take care of my family. I don't do what I want. I do what I have to do. And unfortunately, I don't think Mike does enough of that. Like, we have to set up the interior part of, you can't just go throw it in the middle of the field. You need to set that up, because teams are trying to take it away. You can't run outside if have wide nines and have people on the outside. You got to run inside to force those guys back in and reduce their alignment and get better.
Even the route combinations. Look, you're a cornerback. Do you see that it's the same routes? Drags, posts, flies. Like where is the small ball? Where is, like, say, Waddle and Hill on the same side, and using each other's skills and the leverage? If you put both those guys on the same side, there's going to be leverage and working off each other. It's all this, I don't know, vanilla basic stuff. There's no real small ball in it. Like, where's the 5-yard pass? Where's the slants? Where's a simple curl or comeback I don't know. I'm not an expert. It's just, I'm saying my silly. What about you? What do you think about that?
I just looking at how, like, if we go off the Colts film, they did try to take a lot of that stuff away. They played heavy inside. Even there was like cover 2 playing inside leverage and then moving outside post snap. Like, they were doing a lot of good stuff. I respect to the Colts. They beat our face in, and it wasn't like, not only did they beat our face in, the Dolphins played really poorly. You know how you say sometimes you take a win and then sometimes you give away a win? Well, we gave away a win, but they went out there to take that win too. Give the Colts are going to be good if they get good quarterback play. I mean, like, double-digit win type of good. I really think
that offense is stacked.
Yeah, like I said it before, they're not great, but they're good at everywhere. Like, you can't pick a weakness on their roster. Think about it. Their receivers are good. Or quarterback, we will see, because that's the weakness. The O-line across the board is pretty good. The running back is great. The tight end is good. Like,
tight ends, they got 3 good tight ends. 2, they got 1 pure blocker, 1 blocker catcher, and then 1 all world. The only weakness I see on that team is the linebackers.
Yeah, and they're good run defenders. So the reason why I bring this up is I don't want to put too much stock into a week 1 loss against a team that looked a lot different than what we thought they were going to look. They didn't do some of the things that we thought they were going to do, which we said they couldn't do it because of the issues we would create. Until later in the game, they said, F it, we're going to just play man because that's what I want to play. And the Dolphins was already out of the game. So we'll see.
Did you think Mike McDaniel checked out?
I think he did. That swing route to H-hand to score, I don't think he was just like, whatever, just put it in their playmakers' hands and see what happens. Like, it wasn't like, oh, we need to score, let's go. That's not what you draw up. Then no coach draws that up on a 4th down. 4th and like long. You throw a swing route to a running back with 1 blocker. Like, that's not what you draw up. So
now, do you think all the players kind of know when he checks out?
Yeah, well, I think players check out before him sometimes, and I think that's in that game the players checked out. I guarantee it. I was in the locker room, but what it looked like, and when I go back over the film, on the offensive side of the ball, it was some players that checked out. The offensive line didn't check out. They tried. If you look at the offensive line, they were hitting people the whole game. Even though I don't think their talent level's high, they try to play all the way through. But you look at the receivers.
But how hard? I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. How hard is it for a coach to check out and then to try to get players not to check out after that?
It's impossible. If you check out, like, it's hard already to play, and if you check out and we're looking for you for answers. You got no answers, and you like out of there. I'm out there using my body because you got to mean football is a mental and a physical part of the game.
Yeah.
And if my mental part goes, the body's not going to follow. Like it's like you said it before. You chop off the head, the body will follow. Like the body will wither. If the coach can't find an answer, your team is done. Just like
do you think this affects the future, though? Do you think this affects, like, are they going to remember that when he's trying to get, come on, guys, we got to keep going now, week 2, week 3, week 4? Are they going to be like,
well, it's early. This is bad if it's happening later in the season. If it happens early, that's the one thing that's good about this. It happened week 1.
Good point.
Because I've been on the team before, and we lost the first game bad. I think it was like 32-0 or no 3. You scored a field goal. When it's games like that, I start to check. I forget because I check out too. That's happened a couple of times. I'll be honest with you. And I'll remember what the coach said. The meeting before the next game, we're still like, man, are we good? We don't know if we're really good yet. And he's like, you guys are great. You guys lost that game because you didn't want to win. You're supposed to win. We're not supposed to lose another game the rest of the year. I'm like, whoa, you saw what just happened to us? But the way he said it, he believed it. I remember that was high school, and the coach was like, "You supposed to win. You guys are talented, more talented than everybody else. You guys are great. We're going to score touchdowns. We're going to score touchdowns, not field goals. We're going to score touchdowns." And honestly, that first game, he was bad. He was a bad coach. I'm not bad coach, but he had a bad day. But he believed, I'm gonna get better. You guys are gonna follow. And the next game, I think it was like 3rd and 3, and we're like, oh man, we can't get these things. And he called. I played running back at that time. He called a dive to me. And he said, get the first down. I'm like, okay, we bad. And he just said, go get the first down. And I got the first down, and the team was hyped. And he looked at me like, all right, cool, keep going. We were supposed to, it's not even excited. Like, this is what was supposed to happen. So, and we won every game ever after that. We lost one game that year. And so it doesn't matter how you started, really how you finish. And so can he come? The only problem is we haven't really saw it. We haven't seen it. So can he turn it around and make the players see like, hey, that wasn't who we are. Let's show them who we are. Like that the commercial Tua had instead of what we saw. Can we really come around and show, like, can we play tough football? Can we be efficient? Can we force defenses to do the things we want them to do so we can get the things that we want instead of just, okay, we're just going to go out and throw the ball deep. Well, they know we want to do that. We're going to attack the middle of the field. Well, they know that we want to do that. How do we pull them out the middle of the field? How do we get the safeties to come up and not be 13 yards deep, which is crazy, and then be able to attack over the top? You can run the same routes, but you got to set it up so you can get those plays that you want. Football is a game of consistency. Can you consistently pull players out of position so you can take advantage of that?
So will he do it this week? What's your prediction?
I just don't believe in the Patriots, so I think we win, but not because of the Dolphins. I just think we beat them because I think we're much better from a talent standpoint. I think the defense get off the toilet and play well and give the offense multiple opportunities. I don't like Drake May. I've never been a big fan. I know a lot of people love Drake May. The first play he threw it out and missed completely to a wide open receiver. Like, I don't know if he's really like Josh Allen had the same issues early on, so Drake May can become better. I was wrong with Josh Allen after he got stepped on but he made himself a better player. Now, can Drake May do the same thing? From right now on film, he is not a good NFL quarterback. I don't think we're going to have any issues with them if he plays the same way that he played against the Raiders. I don't think their offensive line is great at pass blocking. When they run the ball, they have to run the ball to the left side, just like we have to run to the left side. They are not great. They're a better run blocking team than a pass blocking team, and they threw the ball 46 times compared to running the ball 18 times. If they have that same split, we're going to win the ball game easily. So I say we win, but it's not going to look pretty. I don't think you're going to come out feeling good about yourself. And we just go from there week by week.
Yeah, I think we win too, but I don't think it's indicative of any kind of like big turnaround. I still think that it's going to be fire McDaniel, burn it down. But I would love to see them. For me, even if McDaniel turns around and Tua becomes all world, Greer is always just a guy that he's a fly in the ointment. So I do believe they're going to win a close one. I had like 2021 or something, but what the hell do I know? I don't know. Half of me is saying they're going to lose, they're going to choke, they're going to melt down. But then I see the weakness on the Patriots offensive line. And I'm like, well, they're going to torture us. They'll win this week and be the hype, and then it'll be struggle. I don't know. So I'm with you. I think we win a close one. Anything? Well, I'm sorry. You want to say anything else?
Yeah. Last thing. I think the real games that are indicative of where the Dolphins are going to be this season are the 2 following games. I think if they play the Bills tough, which I think they will, because they always play the Bills tough for the most part, and they don't get blown out, and they beat the Jets. You have to beat the Jets because the Jets are going to. The Jets are not a good team, but they play a style of football that the Dolphins are not built to play. If they can beat a team that they are not built to like that matchup, and they can come out of this 2-2, 3-1, then you have a chance to get to the playoffs and probably get beat early, but you're going to have for a winning team. If they lose to the Patriots or the Jets, those are 2 teams they need to win early, and right now it's over. Get rid of Mike McDaniel. You're not ready. He can't do it because those are teams that you have way more talent, not way more, but you have enough talent, more talent than those teams.
And you're home. And
the Jets are a team that is which you can't like. They play tough, physical, in the trench type of football. You need to beat a team like that, and they're not good. They're a great example of a vaccine. A vaccine is a weakened virus that you take to make your body get better for the real disease. So they're the vaccine. You take a weakened version of a team that is going to play you that kind of way, and if you can beat them, then it prepares you for a team that's a little bit better. Like say, for instance, they're like the low version, a weaker version of the Eagles. Like you beat them, it prepares you for a team like the Eagles who's going to try to beat you up in the trenches. So
and if we certainly don't beat them, we're not going to beat them in their house later in the season. I got flipped. For some reason I thought we were going to the Jets early, and then they were coming here late. But no, yeah. So I totally agree with everything you're saying.
So we got to win 2 of the next 3 games, basically.
So, Odarius, you got Sod. Give us a little thing, how people should come to you and sub, and give us your whole thing about where we can find you.
So, I'm on YouTube. I'm also on Twitter. I'm not a fan of Twitter, but I do it for you guys so you guys can see it a little bit. But yeah, Sod Talk. Again, SOD. Look it up. It's on YouTube now. I try to do a lot of film. Film is hard. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
But I do conversations. Please join Sod Squad. Subscribe. 100%. Create the dialogue. You ask for something, I'm gonna try to give it to you. Every Friday or Saturday, I will be posting something, unless something egregious pops up. Like for instance, that film study that needed to be burned, but I had to put it out there just to show you guys. I didn't make a mistake. I want to put it out there because I'm not perfect. So if you guys call me out on it, I'm man enough to say, hey, yes, I messed up. So you were right. HNs came out and said, hey, I was supposed to get that block because it was a play action. Even though it looked like a half slide, but because of play action, they want to sell the run block, and Austin Jackson stepped up, sold it. He got held too, if you look at the film. So I take that back, Austin. I'm sorry, it wasn't your fault. But yeah,
so it was Achan's fault. It was Achan. It was on Achan.
Yeah, he straight up said it. He said it was his fault. He take responsibility for it.
It's always so hard. It's so hard to you never really know. I make mistakes all the time, so it happens. No one's perfect. No one. But I know you know way more than me and most of the guys doing films, so that's always a good thing too.
Hey man, you're always learning. Life is always learning. I learned from
you. Taught me, man. You showed me, man. I was like, what the heck? You flipped my head on coverages, dude. So that's a truth.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So anyway, any last bits? I cut into you. I get excited when you're here because you're a font of information. So anything last thing you got to say before we cut out?
Support FIU football. They are they playing this week? I actually did not check. They got blown out by Penn State, but they hung with Penn State, matter of fact, who was the number 2 team in the nation all the way into like the third quarter. And you have people out here saying Aller's not good anymore, which is, I like that. Yeah, beat us on the chest. But I think FIU is actually a really good team. They have an HBCU coach this year, which is new for me. I think they're going to be really good. So if you got a college team or you don't got a college team, support FIU, the real U. Yeah, I said it, Cristobal. So yeah, my coach is the coach for UM too. So I have a little love for them because of that, but I also have a little hate because they kind of cost me a scholarship with the whole fighting thing. So yeah, support the college teams. Come check the channel out and join the Sod Squad.
Awesome. Odarius, I'm always grateful you come on here. I love working with you. I think you're a great person and you really know the game. You really bring a lot to the viewers and me. So, guys, thank you. I hope you enjoyed. Curtis and Odarius saying, be well. Go Fins. Curtis and Odarius out. Start building your own online sports book today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.